Hi, it's Kevin Thomas Morgan here again. I'm in Nixa, Missouri, visiting my girlfriend, but I was just thinking about that heel pain that doctors call plantar fasciitis, and the similarity of the treatment regimens reminds me of the Black Death or the plague in the old days, medieval times, that killed many people. Caused by a bacterium, Pasteurella pestis. I think it's now called Yersinia pestis. Anyway, if you look at the old literature, you'll find that people tried to treat it by having an onion in their bedroom and throwing it out in the morning, by grinding up emeralds, by standing between two fires. They obviously had no idea what caused the Black Death. Well, if you look at the wide range of treatments for so-called plantar fasciitis, which is basically idiopathic heel pain in most cases, nothing to do with the plantar fascia. And I had this myself years ago, an intense pain. In fact, I had to kind of crawl along the ground to get to the restroom. I looked at my heel and I could see nothing wrong. And yet the pain was very intense and focused in my right heel. So I went to a doctor to ask for help, and the doctor said, well, you have plantar fasciitis and I'm about to give you a heel injection. And I remember thinking, what the hell is this doctor thinking? The heel fat pad is not just a random bunch of collagen, elastin, and fat. It's a carefully sculpted machine, sculpted by pressure and shear forces, and it redesigns itself. Even when you change the kind of shoes you have, it will redesign to cope with those pressures. So I left that doctor and never went back. For the next 7 years, I researched the problem, and like many sources of pain, they often aren't where the problem lies. I mean, I recently had heart surgery. The symptoms of my heart attack were pretty severe, but the warning pain was like in my shoulders and in my back and in my neck, never in my left arm, by the way. And down I went, but I've got a cabbage treatment and now I'm fine. Anyway, if you have a problem with so-called plantar fasciitis, the first thing I advise is you do not get a heel injection. A study was done in Australia on heel injections, and they found it fixed some cases and not others. Sometimes single leg calf raises fixes some things and not others. Sometimes calf surgery, horrors, fixes some cases and not others. And all these so-called treatments will change the way the subject moves. And sometimes they help, sometimes they have no effect, and sometimes they actually make things worse. So I strongly recommend that you do not look in your heel for the source of the problem. It lies upstream, probably a nociceptive referred pain, as in heart attacks in the left arm and shoulder. And take care not to, cause further injury, which does happen sometimes, especially as a result of heel injections. You don't want to invade the heel when there is apparently nothing wrong with it at all. I found quite a few cases were related to hip imbalance, and that was my case. And now when I do get that heel pain, which comes from time to time when I'm training, I just stretch my hips and it goes away. This worked out to be the case for Sarah. She'd had so-called plantar fasciitis or acute heel pain for years, had every kind of treatment, even the ossitron, which did no good. And then she overheard me one day and talking about so-called plantar fasciitis. I taught her some hip stretches and it went away.
I've had heel pain for 30 years and it's all better.
Great. Glad to hear it, Sarah. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Other cases like this I describe in my book, The True Story of Plantar Fasciitis and Why Heel Injections Should Be Banned. Okay, that's it. Over and out. This was just a kind of a random recording to make a brief video because I'd forgotten all about this problem. I've got other fish to fry. Okay, wishing you luck, and take care with pain. Quite often the pain is in the site unrelated to the source. Okay, over and out from Fit Old Dog. See you later.